Nick Castellanos, Nick Castellanos, Nick Castellanos. I don't know. I can never say that right. The double L fucks me up. But the infamous Thom Brennaman apology home run is one of the greatest. Well, I got to use my words lightly here because it's obviously not a funny issue at hand when he was apologizing for a racial slur, but god damn it, was that moment with the home run interrupting his on-air apology one of the funniest viral moments of sports broadcasting history. It was real life Brockmeyer, Thom Brennaman with "there's a deep drive to left center field, Nick Castellanos, it will be a home run." Well, he did it again. Another home run, this time in the middle of the Royals broadcast where they were eulogizing a World War II veteran. Same exact shit, same exact spot, left center field, no doubt about it. And the Royals broadcaster, at least this time, acknowledged it and said, there's never a good time to do these things, but, we're sorry. That was as, if it wasn't for Thom Brennaman, that would have been, the funniest interruption ever. However, it's still a distant second to Brennaman. But, again, the chances of the Brennaman thing happening, I said it was the most improbable thing in the history of sports. And now I might have to revise it because we're only, a few months, a year removed, and here we are yet again. But as improbable as Nick Castellanos hitting 2 home runs during heartfelt moments on the broadcast, as improbable as that is, I see you and raise the Aaron Ramsey curse. It's a soccer thing, Jogo Bonito. So we haven't heard much about it. But I am over here. I'm floored that 2 times Nick has hit a home run during a heartfelt moment on the broadcast, an apology or a eulogy. How about Aaron Ramsey, who has 64 career goals? 23 of them were followed by the death of a celebrity. 23 out of 64 goals, 23 times. This dude finds the net and then somebody of note drops dead. Like, if you are a singer, entertainer, actor, influencer, if you have any shred of fame, you should be rooting wholeheartedly against Aaron Ramsey every time he takes the pitch. Because if he puts one in the back of the net, you might be next. 23 goals. Let's run through the list. And I recognize here that this is overseas. So the tag of celebrity or famous person, these are either people that we don't know or really don't care about. But 2009, Ted Kennedy died. I'll give you the notable ones because, Andres Monte is a basketball commentator in Spanish football. I don't know who that is. But Ted Kennedy in 2009, Osama bin Laden in 2011, Steve Jobs also in 2011, Gaddafi. I don't know exactly if we should call it a curse if he scores and he kills Osama bin Laden and Gaddafi. I think we should maybe be like, hey, Aaron Ramsey, thanks for using your curse for good. But Ted Kennedy, Osama bin Laden, Steve Jobs, Gaddafi, Whitney Houston, after he scored a goal against Sunderland in 2012, Robin Williams in 2014, David Bowie in 2016, Alan Rickman, shout out to that guy from Harry Potter. He was in 2016 against Liverpool. Nancy Reagan, Roger Moore. The list goes on and on. Burt Reynolds in 2018. Every time he scores, someone's like, oh, there you go. There's another fucking death. Most recently, 2021, Zambia's first president. He kicked the bucket. So watch out. There's a slew of other names here that are overseas people or other people involved in the soccer world or actors that aren't, huge over here. But if Aaron Ramsey scores, find the nearest celebrity death pool because someone's kicking the bucket, bro. And the fact they actually asked him about it too, which is crazy. To be like, hey, Aaron, over here. The London Times. Just wanted to ask you, you scored a goal today. Are you worried that any celebrities might drop dead? And do you feel any culpability for their death? Now, in 2015, he said it's ridiculous. He goes, it's the most ridiculous rumor I've ever heard. It's like, it's not really a rumor, dude. It is a fact. it's ridiculous that people are blaming you for it, but it's not a rumor. He goes, yeah, there's just been loads of occasions where I've scored and somebody's died. He did say I did take out some baddies, so that is true. Shout out to Aaron Ramsey. He's an international hero for killing Gaddafi and Osama bin Laden. But really, I bet you could play this game with almost anybody. Because again, some of these names, Andres Monte, Ray Williams, Ken Norton, Paul Walker. Oh, Paul Walker was a big one. I didn't realize. Yeah, Paul Walker counts. Reuben Carter. These are some names maybe I just don't know. Nikki Hayden, Greg Allman, Bruce Forsyth. So, depending on what your standard for celebrity is, you pick an event that happens often enough, but not so often. Like, you could play a game every time Ichiro got a hit, somebody died. It's like, yeah, well, Ichiro got hits every fucking day of the week. There's always going to be somebody dead after Ichiro got a hit. But, you pick something like, I don't know, like 30-point games, 40-point games from MJ or some shit like that. Something that happened pretty frequently, but it's still rare enough. I bet you could play this death game with a lot of different things in sports. I want someone should force these. Someone at this point, every time Ohtani hits a home run, somebody's dead. I guarantee you that. Somebody of note is dying somewhere or some shit's happening. That guy's hitting balls out fucking left and goddamn right. It's if you think that Nick Castellanos has a knack for, doing big things in awkward moments, Aaron Ramsey, he's the king of that shit. If your grandma's famous, you don't want Aaron Ramsey scoring a goal because guess what? Nana's dead and you're fucking burying her just like he buried the ball in that net. So maybe it's not uncommon that baseball players hit home runs in the middle of baseball broadcasts trying to talk about serious subjects. But the fact that it happened again and the fact that it was the same player, do you notice that I keep just saying player and guy and using different terms so I don't have to say the last name that I stumble over every time? The chances of that are a zillion to one, a trillion, a quadrillion to one. It's incomprehensible that in the middle, and that family is sitting there like, oh my God, such sweet words for grandpa. Oh, motherfucker. And it was the opposing player this time. I mean, just absolutely shit luck and shit timing. Handled much better. This time there wasn't a career going down the tube. By the way, my boy Josh Potter had Thom Brennaman on his podcast. So if you're interested in that, go listen to the Josh Potter show. Brennaman was cool about it. Josh Potter, he's from like the Your Mom's House camp. He's out on his own now. He loved that moment, that viral moment. He uses it on his podcast all the time, but he also is a big sports fan, a big sports buff. So he knows about the Brennamans and had him on the show to talk about it. And Brennaman was like as honest and open as you can get about the moment, being like, I know it's like funny on social media and people have a good time with it, but you have to realize that like that was a serious moment because of what I said. And also because like my career, I was watching my career swirl down the toilet and I had to do this apology and call the home run. He said his son of all people was really upset about the way that it's handled on social media. I mean, at the same time, listen, Thom, you got to understand this, them's the breaks. You have a ridiculous home run call in the middle of your apology for a sexual slur. It's going to become a meme. It's going to become a viral moment. But listening to him speak like openly and candidly about that was cool. It's a good interview if you're into sports broadcasting and want to hear about that moment. So go listen to the Josh Potter show.